Hey, how's it going? My name is Max Rush. I'm your host. Welcome to my co-host, Tall Boy Jordan.
Sarah.
Saint Sarah, patron saint of Clean Podcast.
There you go. Got a lot of news. We just watched. First off, we're gonna go. Our main thing is all about Ted Bundy, Ted Theodore,
The original lady killer himself.
the original lady killer.
Well, it's about the movie.
We're talking about the movie.
The new movie. Extremely
wicked.
Shockingly evil.
Shocking.
Evil.
Why are you saying it like that? You mean extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. And I guess that's what the judge said to him?
Yes.
Okay.
But news first.
But the news.
So the royal baby has arrived.
Shoot, this is not news.
The royal baby has arrived, and I'm super excited, and they named him Archie, and I think that's kind of dumb. I don't like it.
What, they named him Archie?
His name's Archie.
His name's Archie?
Yeah, let's have a visit about that.
That's not royalty.
Archie, like as in... Like Archie and Betty and Veronica.
As in, his brother's gonna be Jughead.
Most of it was short for something like Archidor or some...
Archithal.
Archithal?
No, it's really legit Archie. I'll look it up. Normal. Archie Harrison. Harrison's fine. Archie Harrison, Mountbatten, Windsor.
Mountbatten.
And then, like, William's kids' names are normal.
Bad.
It's Mountbatten, Windsor, because
Where's
grandpa's name is Mountbatten, and so...
Yeah, his grandpa's name?
Yeah, the one who just retired, Prince Philip. When he married the Queen, he like put up a big fuss about wanting his name in there because she's the Queen, so it should be her name, even though she's the woman. And then
man, that whole king queen thing is the dumbest thing in the world.
I think it's cool.
Who's the king?
There's no king.
There's no king. But there's a queen who's still married, but there's no king.
Well, because it goes through the line. It goes through her.
So then, Prince Henry?
No, William.
Prince William, so he'll be king?
Yes.
When he marries his mom?
Yes.
Wait, what?
No, exactly.
That's what I'm
his mom's
saying.
dead. His mom is Princess Diana. He'll be king.
So who's Princess Diana's... who married Princess Diana?
Prince Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's the king.
No.
Okay, this is why you think it's dumb. You
Queen
don't get it at
Elizabeth.
all.
It's Queen
Elizabeth's like 5 million years old. And then it's Prince Charles, who was married to Diana. She's dead.
Prince Charles is her kid.
Yes, and their two kids are William and Harry. Archie is Harry's, but so it goes through, it'll be Charles
So
next.
she has to die, and then
It'll
becomes
be Charles.
king?
Hopefully they skip him. But it'll go to Charles.
Why would it skip him?
Because he's crazy pants.
Why is
Because
it crazy?
William would be a better king, let's be real.
It's a mad king.
What is
Oops.
that? Is it a mouse?
Sorry. You'd be the mad king.
So she's the queen. She has to die, or else Prince Charles will still be Prince Charles.
Then he'll be King Charles.
But the queen is married.
Correct.
And he has nothing to do with anything.
Right. He's a prince. She made him a prince. And then, when Charles, and then when he dies, it'll be William, and then Kate, his wife, will be, I want to say, Queen Consort.
No, wait,
Not
what's
just
it?
straight.
Queen Consort.
The spouse of a monarch. So the reigning the king, gets married. His wife gets titled queen, but because she's the king's wife, she also makes her a consort. She's the queen consort.
So she'll be a prince consort.
Consort?
This is just.
Anyway, so Archie's name is crazy, so that's really what I was getting at.
Yeah.
In other news, we just watched the new It trailer. What do you guys think?
It's looking pretty good. It's looking like it's sizing up to be a pretty good ending.
Did you like the first one?
I was freaked out by it as a kid, and there's still parts of it that I like. Like, I think it was Tim Curry, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like his version of the clown, I enjoyed.
I did like him better as the clown. I agree.
But like on the whole, the movie, like after watching clips of it and going back and kind of revisiting it, yeah, it's aged.
It's really campy.
Yeah.
The original one's super duper campy. I can't say as I was ever actually scared by it.
Like the part terrified me was probably like the skeleton in the marsh.
Slow
That part at all.
I'll tell you, I wasn't a fan of the old one.
Like you disliked it,
Disliked
or you just
it.
didn't think it was scary?
Well, it definitely wasn't scary.
I didn't think it was scary, but I
disliked it, and boy, I will say this about Tim Curry's one is Tim Curry, right?
Yeah.
Is that IT was more that new one. What's his name? Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Peter Skarsgård.
He's just always serious. I liked him in the first 5 minutes of the It movie, the new one, where he was talking to Bobo or whatever the kid's name is, Billy.
Right.
Or whatever his name is, where he's like talking and he's kind of because he's trying to kill him.
The new one, you like that
The new
one better?
When he's trying to talk
the thing
kids,
is-
when he's
but
trying to
the-
talk kid into the sewer.
But then after that, he's all serious and it's like, oh man.
He acts goofy in the new one, but it's like it's for irony's sake.
But
Like
it's
he's
like-
not legitimately like having fun.
Yeah, it's like, man, I want to see him like Tim Curry did in the library, just honk honk, all stupid, but
Yeah.
which is why that film is not scary at all. But I will say in the trailer, the new one, like the first minute and a half, I could have swore it was directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Just true. The long pause with the old lady.
Yeah.
And
It's
the naked old lady dancing in the background for some reason.
It was creepy.
It was
It
creepy.
was a creepy, and I don't really get scared that much. I mean, it wasn't scary, but it was creepy.
It was-
Because they do a good job of making you feel trapped. Like
Yeah.
she is trapped.
Yeah.
She's been lured into the belly of the beast.
I think she was a really good cast.
the old
for that
lady.
role. No.
No.
Jessica Chastain.
Oh.
She looks just like the little girl, Beverly, as a child. And she looks like what I pictured in my head when I read that book.
Really?
Because in the first movie,
Mhm.
like the old one, the little girl and the two people,
Yeah.
adult and girl, they don't look alike, number one, to me. And I didn't really, that's not what I pictured. She had red hair.
No, yeah.
Did she not have red hair there? Boy?
James McAvoy.
McAvoy?
Thick accent, super thick. I don't think he's even trying to cover his real accent.
What is he?
You could kind
We
of hear it.
only heard him say, like,
like he really didn't have an
he's from
American
Scotland.
accent.
Scotland. Well, I could tell because it's like.
Oh, that's why.
Well,
it's hard to understand Cajuns or something like that, you know? Like, it's just a really thick accent. That's why, then.
and I swore the It appearance came out. He sounds like Winnie the Pooh. Sounds like Winnie the Pooh.
No.
Hello, Christopher Robin.
King Ralph, it's like from like the 80s
That's Arthur.
maybe, and it has
Arthur? Oh.
John Goodman in it.
Oh, no, yeah.
I love John Goodman.
He's a duke or something.
No, he's nothing. He
But
like
I thought he was a duke. Like, like his bloodline traces back to a, like, duke of something. I don't
maybe,
know.
but he
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
but he was like an American and like went bowling and ate a lot of pizza. You know, just crazy. What's that? King Ralph. Remember that movie?
He's like a beer guzzler. Just throwing darts and everything else.
91. And then the girl in this movie, not her. The girl is Rose's mom from Doctor Who.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
You losers.
What?
I mean, just saying.
That's awesome.
Just throwing that out there.
Shout out to number 10.
Woo. Go Tenet. Anyway, did you ever see that movie, King Ralph?
No.
It's so cute. I used to have it on VHS, but it's gone now, obviously. I don't have a VCR. It's a good movie. It's cute. I like it. Do you even know what we're talking about?
King Ralph?
No, have you heard of it?
Oh, no.
You're missing out. We should
I
do a
don't think
podcast
so.
on it.
I don't-
So,
We should do a live watch and have him comment as we're watching.
Just have him watch Ralph.
What are you doing, man?
Ready to do our transition to evil violence? Shockingly.
Did you hide this earlier today? Why is this in here?
For the transition.
Ready for the
Hey,
transition.
I don't like knives. This really freaks me out. Aim it away from us.
Oh, it's not a knife. It's a hacksaw. And who used hacksaws, Max?
Jim Duggan?
Who's Jim Duggan?
The second most famous hacksaw user.
Jim Duggan. Who is that?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I don't know.
USA. USA. Oh. Yeah.
I
Oh.
don't know what that means.
Anyways. Extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile.
stupid title.
Stupid title.
It's too long.
That's what I was about to say.
And it's hard to remember how to say all the parts in the right order.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense.
And here's the thing. I would be all about that title if that title was all about, like, what's in the movie.
Like if it lived up to it.
It should be extremely boring, shockingly boring, evilly boring.
And boring.
And boring.
Boring.
I mean, I like the part where, like, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just like, I'm amazed that you like a part.
I liked the parts where they showed him, like breaking out. I thought that seemed
Here's the
real,
thing.
because he did that, and that actually.
But it mowed over, because...
The mowed over what happened next.
Well, it mowed over, like, the part where he jumped out of the thing, 6 days, it mowed over that. Like, what happened, in between
Right.
that. And then it mowed over the parts before he got cut out from the top. Because, he lost 30 pounds.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't even. I thought they were going to emphasize on that
Yeah.
because I heard he cut himself down to 135 pounds.
He lost 30
through
pounds
that
just so
hole.
he can fit through the hole.
But the thing is that it was told from her perspective, the lady, whatever her name is, and obviously I didn't pay that much attention.
Okay.
I see boring films now.
No, they could have. They probably could have made this movie better by giving Haley Joel Osment the power to see
know, it's-
dead people.
you know what's funny about that?
Like a little bit of a hybrid movie.
I was sitting upstairs and I get this text that said from Jordan. He's like, Jonathan Taylor Thomas is in this
Oh
movie.
my god, what? So, interesting about that character, he's made up.
Really?
Jesus.
Yeah, after
So they-
all that. He was not even a real person. They it's like a composite of several people she knew.
See, that was my problem with this. The editing in this movie, man. Like, I just think they were smoking some crack. Because the editing's all over the place. You could watch this movie without even having her in it, period.
Yeah.
But, okay,
Because she's boring.
it's based
She's so
on her,
boring.
It's based on her book.
On her?
She wrote a book.
It's probably a boring book.
The movie's
then.
based on her. I think they cut a lot of stuff out.
No wonder she started killing people. She's probably a boring individual.
I would have killed her if I was him.
During my research, I discovered that the director of this movie also directed the Ted Bundy tapes.
Really, what happened there? Because the Ted Bundy tapes was good.
He was doing them at the same time, even.
So that's why they
Isn't
were
that crazy?
distracted. He was distracted then.
Like, first off,
Film school 101. You don't
clearly
direct two films.
obsessed, because that's a lot of Ted Bundy. And
Yeah.
they're, like, very different. The Ted Bundy tapes were better.
Yeah, because, it had a lot more. And then it could have just added more to, like, I don't know what happened the 6 days after he jumped out of the window. Or what happened...
Or how he was preparing to
Or
do
what-
these things,
yeah.
losing the weight.
Or what happened
Things.
when he was in Florida, after the escape, because all it did was show him with the two chicks, and then he gets pulled over, punches the cop in the stomach, and then runs, but I guess gets caught because it looked like he had a pretty good distance from the cop who was on the ground, and he was gone.
From what I've heard on the encounter with the cop, he got shot.
The
He
copper.
actually did. No, Bundy did. When he fired off that warning shot, it actually did hit him. But I think it was like in the leg or something. It wasn't life-threatening.
That
But it
slowed a
did
person
stop.
down.
It did stop him. Yeah, it slowed him down.
What do you guys think about what's his bucket's portrayal?
What's his bucket?
Zac Efron. What do you guys think? I thought he looked a lot like him.
Zac
It's tearing up
Efron.
my soul.
I thought Zac Efron was good. He could have had lifts in his shoes.
He was
because
short.
he was.
Yeah.
He's like 5'9".
Was
I
Bun-
think
was
Ted
Bundy's-
Bundy's like 6 or something.
Ted Bundy was taller and thinner.
Yeah, he was, because you could see like he's.
The most I'd heard in my research was that one, like, the way Efron was... Because he was charming. I
Yeah.
do like the acting. The acting is the
thought-
redeeming quality about this whole movie.
For sure. Both of them.
Yeah, because Efron, like, he really plays off on that whole, this guy was a charmer. He was he was not somebody that if he came up to you in the middle of the night, you wouldn't feel threatened. You'd be, oh, hey, look at this, he's a hunk.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, as a person who didn't really know a lot about Ted Bundy, when you were watching the movie, did you kind of think, oh, maybe he didn't do it?
no, because I'd done all my research before the movie. I wanted to make sure I was going in with that. Now, I almost wish I hadn't have done it, though. because they kind of do it like a
They're
whodunit.
trying,
Like,
yeah.
is he innocent? Like they
They
almost
try
like
to do
that.
that.
What's that? Making a murderer.
Yeah.
Like they try to do it that way, which is all fine and dandy, but we all know that he did it.
They're trying to build up towards the end when he did the whole hacksaw thing to where it was like, oh my god, he did it. She finds out, but like everybody knows he did it. But they're trying to plant that seed.
Because from what I've heard, like this guy didn't confess to any of those murders up until like a couple of days before they executed him.
Just to try and get out of it. And they're like, nope.
Like how much of a screw up do you have to be that you escape prison there? They don't know where you are. This is the 70s. They don't, you know what I mean?
He could have disappeared.
Yeah, he could have just easily disappeared. He could have went to Canada, Mexico. I mean, even in Florida, he could have disappeared. So then what compelled... I just can't understand this guy.
I think he went back to town because he was hungry. Because he was holed up in like a cabin, like an abandoned cabin with no heat or power or food for 6 days.
But he was a little thinner because, he was pretty much starved himself.
So I think he
6
went back
days.
to go to like hit up McDonald's or something. I don't know. But because he was in the mountains. Because Aspen's completely surrounded by mountains. So he was trying
But if I was
to
him, I would
find
have...
food. What, climb the mountain more?
No, I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have stole a car.
From what I've heard too, had he not done that, had he not jumped out that window, he very well could have gotten away with it. Because all of the evidence against him was not concrete. It was all circumstantial evidence. They had nothing really linking him to any of the bodies. Like he was good at covering his tracks too. That's the other thing.
Well, then he wouldn't have gone to Florida.
Yeah, like Florida's where he just completely
really
goes out of his
messed up.
mind.
Yeah?
That's where he...
Probably exactly right.
Yeah, I don't know why he shouldn't. He should have just went to. I would have thought Mexico, laid low for 10 years, grew a beard out, or did something.
Hey, you can kill anybody you want in Mexico.
Yeah.
Let's look at the cartels. He goes to Florida and just goes absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, with a log nonetheless.
And then he stays at a frat house or...
No, he goes to a sorority house and like wreaks havoc. He killed 2 people. He tried to kill 2 other people. He bit somebody. That's where they did the teeth marks. Oh, when they did the teeth marks in the movie and they like showed that they had to basically attack him to get the teeth marks.
Right.
IRL, they just said, hey, we need your teeth. And he's like, okay. And just did the imprint. There was none of this like holding him down in his cell. Let's do this the hard way type of thing. That was completely made up.
See, which again would have worked in a making a murderer style, like questions up in the air style movie. But he did it.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand the direction there. Like who did they think they were gonna fool?
Yeah, they should have went a different way with that movie because the first hour or two, I don't know how long it was, but the first seemed like 5 hours. But it was just so boring. And then it got to the court. The court part was all right, but it's just
court to me is where it gets interesting.
It just should have.
That is the interesting part about Ted Bundy because
it just should have added more stuff in there.
Well, because he
was defending himself like an idiot.
Like an idiot, but you got to give the guy credit. He was just, he was on it. Like he's basically being Mr. Superstar. He was playing into this whole deal. Like he really was playing into that fact. Like he almost he lied so much that he made himself believe the lie, I think. This guy was just, I don't know. We can't be doing serial killers and all that next time though, because man, this stuff's like tearing up my soul.
So she looks just like real life Carol. First off.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
I never
sent
did
Max
see
the
pictures
picture.
of
They look the same. It's kind of crazy.
You know who don't look alike? Is the judge and John Malkovich.
Really? I didn't look at.
They don't look alike at all.
Nothing alike. It's no voice alike. He's just playing himself.
Isn't that what he always does, though?
Yeah.
I mean,
he didn't even change his accent.
He's being John Malkovich. That's even a movie.
Like he didn't even try to acquire like a little accent or something.
Yeah, it's just nothing.
It's like they gave him the script on the day.
It's like, come on, man, try to.
What do you think his motivation was for marrying this lady in the middle of a courtroom?
Other than the fact that he was insane, I really can't.
He was not insane.
Anyways, what was he talking about? Him marrying this lady. Okay, for him to prove his innocence, to really convey to the public, like, hey, I'm a nice guy, I think that would be the motivation. That's the only conceivable thing I could think of.
Do you think it worked? I feel like that's like such a grab, and like
He did have a lot of, like, the Florida trial, not so much in Colorado, but for the Florida trial, he did have a lot of support behind him.
I mean, the Florida trials in real life where that happened.
And it's the first televised
Yeah.
trial, too.
Yeah.
That I did not know. That's something the movie showed me. So, props to him on that.
Yeah.
What the part I thought was a little freaky and scary was that part in the kind of towards the beginning when he meets up with this Liz person at the bar for the first time, and then he goes home, and then she wakes up, and the kid's gone.
Mm.
And then he's like just cooking the kid breakfast, wearing her apron. Like, that's really spooky.
I was going to say, was this the first night they met?
Yeah. She wakes up,
Yeah,
baby's gone,
That's creepy.
and he just,
That's
I mean,
creepy
that's a
stuff,
nice,
man.
I guess.
God forbid you let the woman sleep.
No. I don't know. It just would scare me to wake up and be missing the kid. But then at the same time, you as a viewer know he's Ted Bundy and then your kid's gone. So, I don't know. I mean, that part was, I knew obviously nothing happened there because I know the story, but it just was like, oh gosh, that is kind of, thinking about her perspective.
Her boring perspective.
But I think Lily Collins did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And she's Phil Collins' daughter, which is kind of crazy. Like, In the Air Tonight, that guy.
I don't know
I
why
was
that's
just
crazy.
about to make a pun, but never mind.
You can say it.
I was going to say so she could feel it coming in the air tonight then.
She could have. Oh, also, side note, I read this when I was doing some research. The director directed the other thing. Also, he directed the second Blair Witch.
Really?
That was interesting.
Now, here's one thing I didn't understand with her. And we're going to go into spoilers. Because
This whole thing's been spoilers.
I know. Like, this is such
If you
a
don't know, he did.
shoddy movie.
Yeah, and guess what? He did it.
Yeah.
Unless you ask Max. But then he just says, it's just annoy me.
Hey, guess what? Turns out he killed 30 women in 3 different states, actually.
What was the other state?
I thought he was in Idaho at first.
Was he?
And then they extradited him to Colorado for another trial.
I'm sure you're right. Because you've done a lot more research a lot more recently.
It's all
the
fresh.
research.
It's all fresh in my
2
brain.
days.
Unless I'm wrong. But no, so I don't understand there at the end whenever, because how they had that little mystery of, oh, I think I'm being followed and da-da-da-da-da, and all this nonsense. Why did she turn him in the first place? Was it like she knew he was killing, or she had a hunch? I don't understand.
was
I don't
it?
understand her motivation for turning him in, or initially, for the first time he got arrested.
What was it? She
Oh,
knew he
wow.
drove the same car, and he came home with bloody clothes the night that some girl went missing.
Oh, is that what it was? So
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she called, and somebody else had said to the police at a different time, somebody else, that the guy name was Ted. And so then when she said, hey, my boyfriend drives the same car, came home with bloody clothes, his name is Ted, they're like, whoa. So he's like on their radar. Though he separately got pulled over and got arrested for getting pulled over and had all the paraphernalia in his car.
Yeah.
And that's what got him arrested. So that
Right.
might not have necessarily led to his arrest. Getting pulled over really did.
Well, I know
But-
he was. From what I'd seen, he was always drunk.
Really?
Like for a lot of these murders, he'd be intoxicated.
I feel like that's a bad idea.
Well,
You
it's
make lots of mistakes.
for some reason.
Well, you
For-
probably
like-
didn't get sloppy drunk.
Well, in
Did he?
terms of his psychology, it is why he did it, because he didn't want to back away from killing. He didn't want to back down from it. Like he had this. I don't know. Like he had another personality, and he didn't want to suppress that side, or he didn't want to, that side to. It's basically he's just trying to work up the courage to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd get drunk and then drive after he's just committed murder. Like this guy does make some really he makes some brilliant decisions, but he makes some really stupid ones too.
So when he gets pulled over, they can't smell the alcohol?
Well, no, they know he's drunk.
Yeah, but I've never...
It's not that hard to tell when somebody, like a cop can sniff out if somebody's drunk.
I know, but what I'm saying is, he's never been arrested for drunk driving.
Well, they
But he's been stopped with the
over.
stuff in his car, but...
They probably, I don't know, maybe it distracted them. This is the 70s,
I never
man.
heard that he was drunk, but
I heard. Well, I seen in
That's
the.
what I'd heard. It was a
Well,
lot
I
of-
watched in a one movie beforehand, which was a lot better than this one. Where he it did show him drinking, but this movie just
It does. It's ADD. Like I swear, it's.
You say that about every movie. You said that about the last thing.
No, that's what I was about to say. Like I said that about Pet Sematary. I'm gonna say that about this one because the editing is all over the place. It's trying to be two different movies at once. Like it's trying to tell her story and then tell this court story, which I thought was. It still sucked, but I mean that's where I was like kind of drawn in. You know, like when they get back to court, I'm like, all right, here we go. You know, movie's back on.
Courtroom dramas are always good.
But then it would go back to her, and it's just in Snoozeville.
Mm-hmm.
I do not care about this woman's alcohol problem and watch her personal trauma. I'm sorry. I'm watching a movie about Ted Bundy. Let's see the man in action.
I was surprised. I had no idea
Let's see a scary
from her
movie.
perspective, so I was super surprised that she was in it so much.
And the stuff they did show was just boring.
At the very end.
That last scene I thought was good with her visiting him.
The hacksaw thing I liked. The hacksaw thing
That
I
didn't
liked.
happen,
But
did it?
yeah, no, in real life that did not happen. They were on the phone, and he did not really. He was very ambiguous. Like he didn't really say.
So it didn't
So he didn't.
That was all made up.
So he didn't
Yeah.
cry like a baby.
No.
I
That
knew-
was a
I
good
knew he
scene,
did.
though.
I take it back.
I liked the scene.
Yeah. See.
I feel like it worked, and everything was kind of building to that. But knowing it was made up, and also you had to sit through the rest of it to get
I
there.
want to hear the tapes where he actually admitted to murdering.
I've heard what I listened to research Ted Bundy. They play the tapes. It's
creepy?
very not really. It's very horrible audio though because
And they
supposedly
and he says that he murdered him.
yeah, supposedly they tried to crack him. You know, this was like years leading up to the execution.
Mm-hmm.
They'd all like the prison guards. They'd all tried to kind of crack him and see if they could get him to break and finally admit to what he did. It took a new guy, a rookie, in the prison, and they were just doing this on a whim. You know, like what if we make him look like a fanboy? You know, like have this guy kind of go up there and be like, oh man, I still think you're innocent and blah 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 or something along those lines, and it worked. And he did admit. It's really shoddy audio. I couldn't make out much of what he was saying. It doesn't sound creepy. It just sounds like a regular guy that's getting ready to get killed.
I'll have to listen to it because I still don't believe it. It's still innocent.
This I'm talking about. This is just to piss me off.
No, I'm serious. Like I don't believe terrible audio saying he did it. I don't believe that.
Look at his face. He's clearly guilty.
The eyes of that man. You know what?
Yeah, look at those crazy,
now
crazy
that,
eyes.
Now that I am seeing like
He looks
this
like him,
and
right?
yeah, after seeing a picture of Efron, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
They did do a good job.
I feel like they look a lot alike. Especially, there's some spots where they especially look alike.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, if you don't get mistaken, he didn't put the hacksaw at the end. He didn't cry.
Are you trying to say he went out like a man?
I'm saying he went out like a man. He didn't cry. He stuck to his story. Don't believe these audio tapes. Because if they're terrible audio,
this evidence.
I want to see a video and audio. Because if I'm just hearing an audio, anyone can make themselves act like they're, that person.
Turns out he refused to pick a last meal, and so they served him steak, eggs, hash browns, toast, which is standard. And he didn't eat it.
Eat a dead man's meal if he doesn't
Oh
want
my
it.
gosh!
More
Would you? Would you
more
have done
food
that?
for me. There's starving kids in Africa.
Would I eat a dead man's meal?
Yeah.
Well, if he turns it down, it's not his meal. So.
You guys.
My meal now. The way I see it.
That's terrible.
What?
The way I see it, you'd just be eating a innocent man who just turned down his last meal. So.
I say it's a waste. You know what? It'd be murder. Because that cow died to feed that killer.
Were they gonna give it to dogs?
Oh, we're gonna give it to the dogs? Perfectly good steak and eggs?
I give it to my dogs.
Well, okay, that's fine. I'm saying if it was me, I'm eating that steak. It's mine now. Thanks, Ted.
You don't feed your dog steak.
What I have?
You fed your dog steak before.
I mean, like, extra, like, leftovers that I'm about ready to throw away.
Oh, yeah. The chewy stuff that you spit out of your mouth.
No?
You feed them steak.
Like, if I'm going to throw it away, or I took too much and warmed it up, or the gristle.
Next subject.
He killed 30 women. I really don't feel bad about making fun of
Allegedly.
this guy dying. Allegedly. He was proven guilty.
Alright. Then, just because he's proven guilty in the courts, so OJ's actually innocent. I need you guys to stop saying that he's guilty.
OJ was proven guilty in a civil suit.
Civil suit. What's that mean? Absolutely nothing.
Nope.
No, we cleared on that. You're the one that decided
The
that.
shockingly evil, vile, stupid title for the movie.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Because it wasn't exciting at all. It was nothing shockingly evil, vile, or whatever about it. It was shockingly boring. I'd give it a 4 all day, every day. Boom.
As in, don't watch it? Wait, no. What?
Yeah, a 4 is a
Fours don't watch it.
Yeah, I don't like
yeah.
it. It was a 3. For
It was an
people,
eh?
I thought for people who like to watch that sort of thing, you'd be like, oh, I didn't know some of that stuff.
Then they could watch. There's other Ted Bundy movies.
Some people like to watch all of it.
Who?
People.
See, you don't even know those people. See, you're the type of if you don't know the actual statistics of the people who would watch it, then you're the same person who would convict him of being guilty when he's actually innocent. Like, just because you don't know all the facts, but you're just assuming people want to watch this film. No one wants to watch this film.
It's kind of convenient that this man shows up in Florida and then and this is in 2 separate states. He shows up in Colorado, shows up in this one town, a bunch of women die, he escapes, goes to Florida, and then next thing you know, you got six, what was it? It's 6 women killed I was trying to, like, figure out, like, sorority sisters or whatever.
2 women were killed.
Or 2 women. But regardless, kind of funny that he shows up in these areas and the next thing you know, women are getting killed. That fit the same profile too, by the way. They all have brown hair, it's all parted down the middle.
Okay.
I'm just saying, this man is beyond a shadow of a doubt guilty.
So I got a 4. She got the 3. Which is an eh.
Just put the scale up there.
What do you got?
No, me?
No, I'm going to ask her again. What do
I
you
didn't
got?
know.
Still 3.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm on a
asking.
4. I'm on a 4.
4.
I
So
got distracted. No, I'm a solid 4. This movie does have redeeming qualities about it, but it's not enough to save it from the worst in the grading scale.
Now, there's that, what's it called? Confessions? The tapes?
Ted Bundy tape?
Ted Bundy, I don't know.
Maybe.
It's on Netflix. If you guys still have Netflix, if you haven't canceled it yet for being $15 a month. So,
I'm just this is just such a horrible movie, man. Like it would be different if it was like Pet Sematary where there was like a reboot that's actually good to compare it to, but there is no reboot. There's a bunch of really good documentaries, and then there's this piece of garbage.
And you haven't watched the Ted Bundy tapes, right?
No,
You should watch them.
but I'm taking your guys' word for it based on what I've seen
It's
with this
good.
movie. No, I'll watch it. I'm gonna give it a little bit because I think I've had my fill of serial killers. I think I'll go back to my dorky stuff and like aliens and stuff like that, man.
but, yeah, so that's it for this week. Like, share, subscribe.
Feel confident on that.
We're supposed to all do that.
Oh,
Oh.
well, since when? Oh, Vern's leaving.
Nope. There we go. See you guys.
Oh, we're done.